सरस्वती भूषण प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय, नामाचार्य शील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तविंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Tatra Apashyat Sthitam Patak Pitrin Atta Pitamahan Acharyan Matulan Vratrin Putran Sakins Tata Shvashuran Suhridash Chaiva Senayor Upayor Api Tatra pasyat stitan patak Pitrinata pitamahan Acharyan matulan bhratrin Putran sakhings tata Shvashuran suhridaschaiva Senayorubhayorapi Tatra pasyat stitan patah Pitrin vata pitamahan Acharyan matulan bhratrin Putran sakhings tata Shvashuran suhridaschaiva Senayorubhayorapi Tan Samiksha Sa Konteya Sarvan Bandhun Avastitan Kripaya Paraya Avishto Vishidan Idam Abravi Tan Samiksha Sa Konteya Sarvan bandhun avastitan Kripaya paraya vishto Vishidan nidam abravit Tan samiksha sakonteya Sarvan bandhun avastitan Kripaya paraya vishto Vishidan nidam abravit Tatra there Apashyat he could see Stitan standing Pataha Arjuna Pitrin fathers Atta also Pitamahan grandfathers Acharya teachers Matulan maternal uncles Bhratrin brothers Putran sons Potran grandsons Sakim friends Tota two Shvashuran fathers-in-law Suhridaha well-wishers Cha also Eva certainly Senayo of the armies Ubhayo of both parties Api including Translation There Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties, his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his father-in-law and well-wishers, all present there. Tan, all of them. Samiksha, after seeing. Saha, he. Konteya, the son of Kunti. Sardavan, all kinds of. Bandhun, relatives. Avastitan, situated. Kripaya, by compassion. Puraya, of a high grade. Avishtaha, overwhelmed by. Vishidan, while lamenting. Idam, thus. Abravit, spoke. Translation. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
This is the problem. Now Arjuna is facing the problem. What is this problem? Suppose you bring all my friends, my relatives, my sons, grandsons, my father-in-law, brother-in-law, friends, my animals, because there are soldiers, Senaya Rubhayoropi, there are animals also, horses, elephants, they are also within the membership. According to Vedic conception, the animals, they are also members of your family, because they are giving service. Not that one section of the members of my family I give protection, and the other section I take everything from them and then cut throat. This is not civilization. You keep your sons, wife, daughters, cows, dogs, they are animals, asses, domestic horses, elephants. If you are rich, you can keep elephants also. It does not mean either family-wise or state-wise. It does not mean that you give protection to some members and cut throat of the others. Oh, how horrible it is. So all of them were present now. And the problem is that he has to kill them. Arjuna. It is fight. It is a family fight. So some of the family members on the other side and some of the family members this side. So other side also, what are they? There. Tatrapasat sitan partha pitrinathu pitamahan. Pitrin, teachers, and Pitrin also. Pitrin means those who are on the status of father. And Bhishma Dev was a grandfather, real grandfather, Pitamaha. He is on the other side. Dronacharya, he is on the other side, teacher. They are to be respected. Actually, Arjuna did so. Before fighting with Dronacharya, he first of all threw one arrow on his lotus feet, obeisances. This is the etiquette. My dear sir, you have taught me this fighting science, now it is being used against you. Duty. So I offer my obeisances. And Dronacharya also threw another arrow touching his head. My dear boy, become blessed. This is duty. How blessed? By killing me. I know you will kill me, so I give you blessings that you kill me. This is duty. The disciple is fighting, touching the feet of Dronacharya. My dear sir, it is duty. Now you are face to fight. So give me your blessing. This is one side. The other side, blessing. Yes, you are my all blessings. So this is the problem. This material world is problematic, especially when we have got this family relationship. Society, friendship and love, divinely bestowed upon man. They say. It is not divinely bestowed. It is not. It is entanglement. It is entanglement. Grihapatta. There is verse in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Dehapatta. What is that verse? Dehapatta kalatradi. Deha, first affection is with our body. I am this, Mr. Such and such. This is I am, this body. I have got attraction for this body. Then the offsprings, the byproducts of this body. Apatya. Apatya means children. And how this byproduct is made? Kalatra, through I. Stri means which expands. Vistar, expands. I am alone. I accept wife, Stri, and with her cooperation I expand. So one who helps me to expand, that is called Stri. Every Sanskrit word has got meaning. Why woman is called Stri? Because she helps expanding myself. How expanding? Deha patta kalatradisu. I get my children. First of all, I was affectionate to my body. Then, as soon as I get a wife, I become affectionate to her. Then, as soon as I get children, I become affectionate to children. In this way, I expand my affection for this material world. This material world, attachment, it is not required. It is a foreign thing. This material body is foreign. I am spiritual. Aham Brahmasmi. But because I wanted to lord it over the material nature, Krishna has given me this body. Daivanatrena. He is giving you body. He is giving the body of Brahma. He is giving you the body of ant as you desire. As you desire. If you want the body of a tiger, Krishna will give you. If you want the body of a hawk, he will give you. If you want the body of Brahma, he will give you. If you want the body of a demigod, he will give you. If you want the body of American, he will give you. Englishman, he will give you. Indian, he will give you. That is Krishna. He is so kind. Je jathamang prapadanti tang tathaiva bhajami aham. Krishna is very kind. Just like a son disobedient to the father, but he wants to enjoy something. Still father giving him. All right, you take money and enjoy. Father is so kind. You become free, whatever you like and do, you take some money. This is our concession. This material life is a concession to us, given by God for gratifying our senses. This is material life. Krishna does not want that you become entangled in this material world. That he doesn't want. Why he should want? Krishna, just like you produce your sons, children. Why? To remain in household life, enjoy in the company of wife, children, friends. This is, one can understand why I take so much responsibility of family. I was alone. Why I get married? Why I beget children? Why I make friends? Because I want to enjoy. So Krishna is also a person. Nitya nityanam chetana chetananam. He has produced so many children, these living entities. Why? To enjoy along with them. Just try to understand the psychology. Jato va imani bhutani jayanti. Janmadasya jata. Where this idea came from, that I shall be happy within society, friendship and love, children. Where from this idea came? Where is the origin? The origin is there in Krishna. Janmadasya jata. Janmadasya jata. The origin of love Just like Krishna is loving Radha. So the loving idea came from Krishna. Anything that is within our experience, that is in Krishna. So Krishna cannot be impersonal. That is nonsense. Krishna is exactly a person like me, you. But the difference is that he is very, very unlimitedly powerful. I am limited. This is the difference. So Krishna also wants that to live with his family. Our Krishna consciousness movement is just to train ourselves again to enter into the family of Krishna. This is our movement. With these families, the so-called families, we are suffering. We are suffering. But this family idea is there. That is perfect in Krishna, with Krishna. The family idea, where from this family idea comes? Without it is being situated in Krishna, because nothing can be visible without being in Krishna. He is the origin. Janmadasya jata, aham sarvasya prabhava. I am the origin of everything. So, whatever we are seeing in this material world, the origin is in Krishna. But here it is perverted. That is the only difference. Just like a tree, the original tree is standing erect. But when you see the perverted reflection of the tree, everything is topsy-turvy. The upside has gone downside. You have seen the reflection of the tree. So the upside downside, when the upside of the tree becomes downside, that is called perverted reflection. So this material world is perverted reflection of the spiritual world. It is false in this sense because it is reflection. Otherwise, exactly the same thing are there in the spiritual world. Urdhva moolam madhu shakha asatham abhayam vidu. There is in the Bhagavad Gita, you will find in the 15th chapter. Urdhva moolam. Here, this material world, the origin, moolam means root, is upside. Upside, because it is reflection. This tree is erect and this is reflection. So the root has gone upside. So here is the problem. Because we are attached to this so-called family, society, principle, law, when Arjuna was faced, then he became Kripaya paraya vishta visidan idam abravit. How it is possible, Krishna, that I have to kill the other side, my fathers, my father-in-law, my grandfather, my sons, my grandsons, my brother, my so many friends. So it is natural. Kripaya paraya avishta. He becomes overwhelmed with compassion. Kripaya paraya avishta visidan. Very morosely. Krishna, I'll have to fight with them, I have to kill them. Why this consciousness came? The other side also, Duryodhana. Why? He did not think in that way. Why? Arjuna is thinking. Because he is devotee. That is the difference. A devotee thinks like that. A devotee does not like to kill anyone, even an ant. Why he should be encouraged to kill his friends? A devotee is like that. Jasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvai gunai tatra samasate sura. This is the result of devotional life. Arjuna was insulted, Arjuna was taken away, all his belongings, Arjuna was banished For 13 years, his wife was insulted. So many atrocities was done to him. Still, when the question of killing came, he was not very happy. No. This is Vaishnava. This is Vaishnava. He is ready to excuse even the greatest enemy. But Krishna does not want. If you insult his devotee, the devotee may excuse, but Krishna will not excuse. This is Krishna's position. Therefore, be careful to insult a devotee. A devotee may excuse you, but Krishna will not excuse you. Krishna is so strict. He cannot tolerate any insult to his devotee. Therefore, this arrangement of fighting. Arjuna wanted, no, let them be excused. Krishna wanted, no, you must fight. You must kill them. This is the position. So, he is within the dilemma. Krishna is insisting that you must fight and kill them. But he is thinking, how shall I kill my kinsman? This is the problem. Therefore, tan samiksha sa kauntiya sarvan bandhuna avastita. All friends are there. Kripaya paraya vishta visidan idam abravi. So this is one side. That if you want to please Krishna, then you have to be prepared for killing your so-called relatives. If you want Krishna, if you want to please Krishna. So this whole Vedic civilization is made just to train how you can be detached from this so-called family affection. This is Vedic training. First of all, brahmachari. Brahmachari means to lead the life of austerity. A brahmachari is supposed to lead, to serve the spiritual master at his home, and he has to work just like a menial. He may be a king's son or a very great Brahmin son, but as soon as he agrees to live with the spiritual master, he has to live just like a menial servant. Whatever the spiritual master will order, he has to do it. This is brahmacharya. And they would gladly do, because their children, brahmachari life begins from 5 years. So you ask any child to anything, he will do. They are learned. They are given education. Go from door to door, house to house, and bring some alms. So brahmachari means the neighborhood, their sons. So when the brahmachari goes for begging, mother, give me something, alms, immediately some rice, some dal, some atta is given, or some vegetables, sometimes some money. So they bring everything to the spiritual master, and it becomes the property of the spiritual master. Because he has begged, it is not his property. Sarvasam Guruvedanta, everything is Guru's property. So much so that after cooking everything, the spiritual master will call, my dear boys, come on, take prasadam. But if he forgets to call somebody, he will not touch. He will not touch. This is brahmachari. Oh, spiritual master has not called me, so I will fast. He baked the rice and vegetables and atta and dal. It is cooked. And when it is cooked, that is also spiritual master property. If the spiritual master does not ask him to take, he cannot take. He cannot touch. This is brahmachari life. So therefore the first training is given to become austere, tolerate. How to tolerate? How to call other woman as mother is learning from the beginning. a small child. He's trained up to call any woman, even of his own age, not sister, mother. This is the training. Matrivat paradareshu. This is education. Matrivat paradareshu. Chanakya Pandit, the great politician, has given the definition of a learned scholar. Who is learned scholar? He has given the definition. What is this? Matrivat paradareshu. To see every woman except his wife as mother. This is education. This is education, perfection of education, when you can see all women except your wife as mother. This is education. Matrivat paradareshu, paradarbeshu losnava. And others' property, just like garbage in the street. Then nobody is interested in the garbage you throw. And that is education. And atmavat sarvabhuteshu, and thinking all living entities as your own self. If you feel pains and pleasure by something, you could not afflict the pains to others. If your throat is cut, if your head is cut, you feel so much pain, how you can cut the head of another animal? This is education. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu. This is education. Three things. This is the test of education. Matrivat paradareshu, paradarbeshu losnavat, atmavat sarvabhuteshu, japashyati sa pandita. Where is that pandit? There is no such thing now. So, this problem, attachment for this material world, gradually we have to cut it. That is the Vedic civilization. If you want to go back to home, back to Godhead, then at the same time, if you remain attached to this material world, so-called society, friendship and love, then it is not possible. So long you will have a pinch of attraction with this material world. There is no possibility of being transferred to the spiritual world. This is the position. Therefore, by training, by education, we have to become detached. Detached. This society, friendship and love. We have to understand the falsity of this so-called society, friendship and love. It is just like, because we are being carried away by the waves of Maya. Bhaktivedant Thakur has sung, Mayar vase jatcho bhese khacho habu dubu bhai. Just like we see sometimes in rainy season, so many plants and creepers and vegetables and so many other things are floating in the river, going. Similarly, we also are all floating in the waves of Maya. Mayar bhase jatcho bhese. Kacho habudu, sometimes drown, sometimes on the surface, sometimes on the other shore, sometimes in this shore. This is going on. So long we are in this material world, we are being tossed by different currents, and sometimes I am here as the master of some kingdom, and sometimes I am dog of somebody else. This is my position. The same thing, very good example. That we are being carried away by the waves of Maya. Sometimes we are gathering together. So many straws and vegetables are gathered together. And sometimes the same vegetables and straws are thrown asunder. One is there, one is here. So here also, we assemble here as society, friendship and love, exactly like that, in the waves of Maya. Nobody is your father, nobody is your mother, nobody is your sister, nobody. It is simply Mayic, illusory combination. Illusory combination, temporary combination, and we are so much attached to this combination that we are refusing to go back to home, back to God. This is our position. Therefore, we have to meet them in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and if required, we have to kill them and execute the order of Krishna. This is our position. If you are thinking that in this material existence I shall be saved, assisted by my society, friendship, love, country, and politics and sociology, no, sir, it is not possible. It's not possible. You have to take care of yourself. Your so-called society, friendship, love, country, nation, and this will never be able to help you, because you are under the clutches of Maya. Devi jesa gunamai mama maya duruttaya prakite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankar vimuratma karta ham miti mannate. You are under the clutches of Maya. You have no independence. Neither anyone has got any independence to save you. That's not possible. The same example as I gave some time, that you learn how to drive aeroplane. So you go high in the sky, but if you are in danger, no other aeroplane can help you. You are finished. Therefore, you must be a very careful pilot to take care of yourself. Similarly, in this material world, everyone individually has to take care of himself, how he can be saved from the clutches of Maya. That is Krishna consciousness movement. A teacher can give you hints, the Acharya can give you hints that you can be saved in this way, but the execution of the duties, that is in your hand. If you perform the spiritual duties rightly, then you are saved. Otherwise, even Acharya gives you instruction, if you don't follow, so how he can save you? He can save you by instruction, by his mercy, as much as possible, but you have to take it in your hand seriously. So, this problem is Arjuna is facing now, this problem, that is general problem, dehapatta kalatradisu. Dehapatta, deha means this body, apatta means children, kalatra means wife, dehapatta kalatradisu. Atmasannesu asassu api. We are thinking that we shall be protected by these soldiers. I have got my sons, grandsons, my grandfather, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, my so many society friends. Everyone is thinking that. My nation, my community, my philosophy, my politics, no. Nothing can save it. Dehapatra kalatradisu asassu api. They are all temporary. They come and go. Asassu api pramatya tasya nidhanam pasyannapi na pasyati. One is too much attached to this society, friendship and love. He is pramatta. Pramatta means crazy, madman. Pasyannapi na tasya nidhanam. He does not see, although he is seeing that my father has died. When I was a child, my father was giving me protection. Now my father has gone away. Who is giving me protection? Is my father alive to give me protection? Who is giving me protection? My mother was giving me protection. Now who is giving me protection? I was in family. My sons, my daughters, my wife. I left them. Now who is giving me protection? Actually, Krishna gives you protection always. Not your society, friends, your love. They will be finished. As your father is finished, as your grandfather is finished, similarly your son, grandson will be finished. None of them will be able to give you protection. Only Krishna will be giving you protection. Therefore, you surrender to Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mami kam saranam bhaja. aham tva sarva papa brahmak. I shall give you protection. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranasthati. My devotee is never vanquished. So, the best thing is to take to Krishna consciousness, fully surrender unto him, and you will be protected. Otherwise, there is no other way of being protected. We will be carried away by the waves of Maya. This is the position. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is everybody is able to hear me? Hopefully, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So we'll start our Q&A. Very wonderful class by Sri Prabhupada. He was explaining the situation of Arjuna. So the first question is, while explaining in the shloka, Arjuna was addressing the different family members. So who all in Vedic times or in by the in the Vedic culture, who all are considered our family members and why they are considered as a family members? Can anybody explain? All the Shiromani Bro. Anybody from online would like to give the answer? In the first few lines of his discussion, only Prabhupada was explaining who all are my families and why basically they are considered family. Generally, in today's context, we only know, our relatives and friends. They are our families, but there was some extra which was mentioned. Yes, Nitin.
Prabhuji.
Yes, somebody online would like to give
Yes,
answer.
yes, Prabhuji. Even I think all the animals, Prabhuji, Prabhupada was trying to say about animals, cows, dogs, elephants, whatever, whoever you can protect. Is it correct, Prabhu?
So these are considered as family members. And why they are considered Mataji family members? Why?
Because we are giving protection to them.
We are giving protection to them. That is our part. But what they are giving to us?
Okay, that I didn't. Yeah.
So Prabhupada was explaining that the animals, so they also give service. For example, cow gives the service in form of milk. So that's why they are also considered as a family members. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. ठीक. Collectively बाद में हम आखिरी में बताएंगे. So then Prabhupada was explaining the word which is coming in the verse, I guess. But before that, then basically how Arjuna offered respect to Dronacharya and what was the duty of Dronacharya in this context. So Prabhupada was explaining, while explaining the translation of this particular verse, 26-27. So Prabhupada was explaining how Arjuna, although he was on the side of an enemy, still he took the blessings from Dronacharya. So how did he took blessings and what was the duty of a Dronacharya in this context? Yes, Kishle Bro, mic है आपके पास. Yes.
So during the war, Arjuna first hit the arrow towards the lotus feet of Dronacharya, who was his master, like signifying that he wanted to pay his obeisances to him. And in return, although Dronacharya knew that he was supposed to kill him, So he gave his blessing by shooting an arrow on his head as a form of blessing.
Yes. Haribol Jai. Now the next question. So in the course of discussion, then Prabhupada was explaining the word Dehapatya Kalatradi. So what is the meaning of Dehapatya Kalatradi? And in that context, Prabhupada also explained the meaning of a stri. So what is the meaning of a stri? The question is, I'll repeat the question. There's a word comes in the shloka from Bhagavatam 2.1.4. So there Prabhupada explained Dehapatya Kalatradishu. So what is the meaning of Dehapatya Kalatradishu? So and what is the meaning of a stri, which is explained by Srila Prabhupada in this context? Yes, Nikhil Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dhanur Pranam. So, Prabhuji, Deha Patyakladrishu means, first of all, we living being have attachment to our body. We love our body, and
Right.
then we love our children. Deha Patyakladrishu, and after that, Stri means like expansion. She will help us to expand. So come and getting married and then having children. So lot
Right.
of things are coming from Istri. So Istri means expansion. So that's what Prabhupada said, that there is a Vedic meaning of everything. That's what.
Jai. Thank you. Very nice, bro. Hare Krishna. So now the next question is, then Prabhupada was explaining that there is a difference between the body of Krishna and body of so basically every living entity is awarded the material body with respect to his desires and his karma. So and it is basically under the karmana daiva netrena, so it is under the supervision of Lord. So now then Prabhupada was giving the explaining while difference between the body of Krishna and our body. So what was the why Krishna was I missed the question. So the question is basically what is the difference between the body of Krishna and body of ours, which is explained by Prabhupada in this context. Can anybody answer? Yes, bro. All the Shivani, bro. Which is explained by Prabhupada in this particular context. Okay, bol.
So, Prabhupada concluded by giving that Krishna is a person, but he is unlimitedly unlimited, but we are limited. So that was the thing.
So Krishna is having he is also like a person like us, and Prabhupada was explaining in relation to family, because this tendency is there.
So Prabhupada started explaining by giving the words Janma Dasyada. So whatever is within our experience, it has existence in Krishna first. Okay. And from there he says, just like we are alone and we accept a wife and then we produce children and then we take all the responsibilities of family, children, relatives, friends in order to enjoy.
Correct.
Similar case is with Krishna. Actually, the same has come within us from Krishna. But the only difference is that Krishna is unlimited and we are limited.
Haribol Jai. Then little fast forward. The time is also. Then Prabhupada draw the conclusion that Krishna can't be impersonal. From this discussion, Prabhupada also draw a conclusion that Krishna cannot be impersonal. He is a person like us, like you, like me. Prabhupada was explaining, and then he explained the difference, just like our Avadar Shiromani just now explained. So, further, so Prabhupada was explaining the result of or the consequence of insulting his devotee. So, what is the consequence of insulting his devotee, and basically what is the result one gets after insulting his devotee? And Prabhupada was warning very clearly. Yes, Nitin Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada was explaining that if you insult devotee of Lord, then the devotee might forgive you for that, but Krishna will never forgive you in that sense. And that was the context explained by Prabhupada in the context of Arjuna and Lord Sri Krishna, that Arjuna instead wants to forgive them due to some reasons and so, but Krishna was saying, no, you have to fight this because they have insulted and also.
Haribo, Jai. ठीक होगा तो Now the next thing is, then Prabhupada was explaining about Vedic training, how Vedic training in the Vedic times the training was given. So for what purpose the Vedic training was given and how it is given? Anybody from online would like to give answer? Prabhupada, while yes, Nikhil Prabhu, please go ahead.
So, Prabhuji, in Vedic training, like Prabhupada was explaining, this first thing is brahmachari, how the brahmachari disciples were going, in different villages and home, just for begging alms to serve the spiritual master. And they cannot claim anything on that alms because they have begged it. It doesn't matter that they own it. Everything belongs to the spiritual master. And if spiritual master prasadam is there, then he will order to take that. And if he is not calling anyone, that means he has to fast, that particular disciple. Second thing is, the second training was given to the brahmacharis that every woman is mother. Except his wife, every mother should be treated as every other woman should be treated as mother. So this was the second training given to the brahmacharis. This is how the Vedic culture was, and he was also Srila Prabhupada was also quoting the text from Chanakya Pandit.
Yes. So that was the training. But what was the purpose of this training? Can anybody explain?
To practice austerity, Prabhuji.
No, austerity.
To follow the instructions of spiritual master unconditionally.
But what is the purpose of that thing also? There was a very base purpose which was mentioned by Prabhupada. Yes. Kisle Prabhu?
Gradual detachment from family life.
Gradual detachment from the family life. So that was the purpose of Vedic training. Gradual detachment, because if you see, only Grahastha ashram is given some concessions, but rest of the ashrams, brahmachari, vanaprastha and sannyasi, so they are basically trained to detach from family. Then how, just like you little bit touch upon that part, how the education, so what is basically the education as per the Vedic standard? We have altogether a very different understanding of education, but Prabhupada gave a Vedic understanding about the education. So what was the education and what is the taste of education? Prabhupada also explained what is the taste of education. So can anybody explain what is education as per Vedic understanding or Vedic culture, and what is the taste of education? A little hint on this line, Prabhupada quoted Chanakya Pandit, the very famous shloka from Chanakya Pandit. Yes, Pradyumna Priya Prabhu? Anybody? Mohit Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mohit Prabhu.
So Prabhupada told three things. First, see other women as your mother, and the second one was that to not inflict pain on others, like we are cutting throats of the animals. And the third one was
And
to not be interested in others' property, see it like a garbage.
Haribol, Jai. So then at the last part, last question also. So in the end, Prabhupada was explaining the position of a living entity in the material world. With respect to very beautiful analogy by Srila Bhaktivedant Thakur. So what was the analogy Prabhupada quoted to explain the position of a living entity in this material world? Sometimes a living entity might expect from his friends, relatives and so-called family members different things. So in that context, Prabhupada was explaining about the position of a living entity in this material world. And he also quoted the Vaishnava song by Bhaktivedant Thakur to give an analogy of one particular thing. So, does anybody remembers what was the thing explained by Prabhupada to explain the position of a living entity in this world? Pratik Prabhu, would you like to answer? Anybody from online? Okay, only Nikhil Prabhu. Is there anyone else apart from Nikhil Prabhu? Okay, Nikhil Prabhu, go ahead.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. I will try to answer this.
Yes.
So Srila Prabhupada was quoting that in rainy season, like in the river, a lot of creepers, vegetables, leaves, everyone is just getting and flowing in the stream. So similarly, all the living beings, like we think that this is our uncle, father, mother, all the relatives are there. Similarly, we are getting carried away in the presence of Maya. So this was the analogy Srila Prabhupada was giving, and he also quoted Srila Bhaktivedant Thakur's song, I guess, that we are getting carried away in Maya. I could not recall exactly, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhupada, this is difficult to recall, even I also do not remember it. So Prabhupada was explaining it that sometimes a living entity becomes the king of a kingdom, sometimes he becomes a cat and dog. So that is a situation just like a plant which is on the surface of a river or a water. Sometimes it is some two straws are together, and then with the course of current of the water they get separated also. So that is a position of a living entity in this material. So thus we will end our question answers here. Our time is also up. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedant Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. The Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedant Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, online devotees, for participating in today's class as well as question answers. Hare Krishna.